What's up? Welcome in Tuesday, A to Z Sports. Gonna have, I think it's gonna be a fun show. It might bring up some bad feelings and memories and all that, and make you realize how ugly the Titans really are right now. But I think it's gonna be productive in the fact that we're gonna try to find where this all started and what's the biggest reason why the Titans have been in a 48 game downward spiral. And I think there's a lot of irony that runs thick through the last 48 games. But we got some news last night with the Tyler Lockett situation, who was asked and granted his release from the team. Easton, you've got some insight on that. You wrote about it last night. Buck Rising added to that story this morning at A2ZSports.com. So we'll discuss the Tyler Lockett news, which is not big news, but I do think it's good news. So we're going to ask, who is the biggest winner of a bunch of winners in this situation? I think this is a Michael Scott win-win-win situation. I win because I helped us all have a win-win situation. There's no compromise in this overall. So we'll discuss that. We'll go through the last 48 games with this downward spiral, with that thick irony, and then throwing shade. Easton, you said you've got your shade locked in. I don't know if you texted that last night. I know if that was a lock it pun, or if that was just your shade is going to be that good.
No, it wasn't. And my shade won't be on Tyler Lockett, who I wish only the best going forward. My shade will be on a certain two different subsects of Titans fans that I will get mad at later.
Oh, nice. Okay. Sounds great. So we're
none of you all in the chat. None of our highly intelligent, highly respectable, reputable chat. No. These are the morons on Twitter that aren't in the chat. So we'll all make fun of them together. Don't worry.
All right. I like that. So we're going to have a good show. I'm excited about this show, this topic. I've done some research. I've done some math this morning as well. I'll bring some things to the table that I don't think anybody has truly put together yet. I think this is new.
Nobody.
I don't think anybody has done this. No, I think everybody knows this.
Okay.
But I don't think they've put it together and packaged it like I have today.
Well, I'm excited to hear what you have. Bring your findings. Present it.
We're going to do it. Tell the people what they got to do first.
Well, they got to like the show on Facebook, on YouTube. Hit that like button for us. We appreciate you guys being with us here on a Tuesday. Good to be back here on the morning show with you all. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube, by the way. Don't just watch on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube so that you get all of our morning show and prime time and various other bits of content on there. A lot of good stuff every day, all day on the YouTube. And then jump into the comments like Anthony and Lucas, Titans Kyle, Duran, Jason, Corey, Jeff, Big Ten Jeff, Chris. Yeah, Chris doesn't like the show. That's right, Chris. All over it. Like the show this morning.
Chris's second like the show comment of the day already. So that's good.
Chris is about it this morning, which I'm about Chris if Chris is about it with liking the show. So do what Chris is saying. Like that show. And Austin, let's get it started.
Let's do it officially. Welcome to A to Z Sports here live on a Tuesday. I'm Austin Stanley. He's Easton Freed, our Titans reporter for A2ZSports.com. And we are Nashville's on-demand sports talk network, going live weekday mornings at 8 Central Time on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Links to the show segment by segment on our Twitter X timeline. Hit us up on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads for more great Titans content. Make sure you leave us a 5-star Google review because that goes a long way for our company as a whole and helps us out. And our sponsors are designed to help you out because we get good sponsors, reputable companies that we all could use in our lives, like Wilson County Hyundai. If you're looking for a new ride, let them help you out. WilsonCountyHyundai.com in Lebanon. The Bone and Joint Institute, boneandjointtn.org, the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedic and sports medicine care. Barton Drury Insurance Group, customized solutions for all of your insurance needs. They're local and online at bartondrury.com. Botero Carts, buy a golf cart. Life is short. Might as well do that. 2 locations, Columbia and Gallatin. And Window Nation. Buy 2 windows. You get 2 windows free and no payments needed for 2 years. WindowNation.com for your free estimate for your home today. So we're going to have a good show today. The title of the show, I think, fits. Tyler Lockett throws the Titans a bone, plus what started the Titans' 48-game spiral with Mike Vrabel. And I said that I think I am the first person to put this together the way that I'm putting it together. Fu on YouTube says, here we go. Austin reaching like always, saying, I'm telling you, he needs to say this type of bleep to keep the audience engaged. They're losing your audience. No, we're fine. We are fine, Fu. But I actually do believe
Austin reaching like always. I couldn't agree more. I had Austin Reacher Stanley is how I have
what am I
like,
reaching
my
for?
phone.
Like, you don't even know.
So all you do, man, is reach.
Yeah. So
Who's
I
all
do have
over it.
long arms. I do have long arms. Like if you were sitting in like in a seated situation, you're like, ah, man, that thing over there, it's kind of far away. But I got you.
Oh.
And I'm the king at reaching
This is your
the
claim
remote.
to fame is long arms.
Reaching the remote and not getting up off the couch, wherever that remote may be. Because I have long arms, I've got broad shoulders. I can go a lot of places with that. I do have long fingers too, Ann. I've got
By the way, Chet, do I sound better now? A couple of the last shows I've done, people were like, "You're too quiet," and I just tried to adjust it. So let me know if I feel.
To me, you sound better. To me, you sound better. But no,
I didn't change anything, so I don't know what happened, but I think I fixed it.
Sometimes tech is weird. So for me, I do think I have packaged this information that we all know. Like, we all know the information I'm going to go about, but I've packaged it in a unique way to make us understand how we got here as best as possible, because nobody is happy with where the Titans are at. They're an embarrassment. I have been here before, back when Zach and I were on Sports Talk Radio in the Nashville area before we started our company, A to Z Sports. The Titans were coming off. They had a 5-27 combined record the last time they fired a coach in season, and also the last time they had a top pick rookie quarterback playing games, and they fired a guy and hired a Mike interim coach. But we're going to go through all that later on. But we're going to start with the Tyler Lockett part of this. So, Easton, I'm going to put the graphic up on the screen. I'll let you kind of talk us through the situation of Tyler Lockett. Adam Schefter mentioned it first. You were able to confirm that. Tyler Lockett asked for and was granted his release by the Titans. He can sign with a new team Wednesday afternoon, another day and a half from now. So take us through your what you've heard about this and kind of where we go from here.
Yeah, if we remember back to when he was signed, this wasn't during the normal early part of free agency in March. This was literal hours before the Titans made the first pick in the 2025 NFL draft. I forget if it was, I think it was the day before.
It was like the Tuesday. Like they signed him on a Tuesday, and the draft
was either Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah.
And Tyler Lockett was tweeting every draft pick the Titans made. Tyler Lockett was like, at Cameron Ward, at Femi, like, let's go.
Welcome to the squad, boys.
Welcome to the squad. I just got here too. Like all this excitement.
Well, I bring that up to say that he was, it felt like with the Titans going into a draft where their wide receiver room was really up in the air. We did not know they were going to get Chimere Dike or Alec Iamaner yet. We did not know, besides Calvin Ridley and Van Jefferson, who they had signed in the normal part of free agency, what this room was going to look like, because NWI had departed. So it was literally Calvin, Van, and Bryce. That was the whole thing, right? Am I missing anybody? No, that's it. No. And so they signed him. It felt like a floor-raising security move, right? A reliable veteran who, and I always like to bring up during free agency to folks, it's easy for us to lose sight of the one-sidedness of additions. I was talking with Nick Suss about this the other day, Austin, where whenever a team signs a player who was on another team, usually the truth about that player is closer to how the fans of the team he's departing feel about the guy than the fans of the team he's joining.
Sure.
And so, like, with Atlanta, with Julio Jones, when you go back and look at how Atlanta fans reacted to the Titans signing Julio Jones, they were all like, good luck. And Titans fans were like, we got Julio Jones, the Hall of Famer. Exactly. With Seahawks fans.
When the Titans trade away A.J. Brown, Titans fans like, no!
Exactly. You know you got a good one when people are crashing out. So with Seahawks fans, when Tyler Lockett walked and his contract was up after last year, Tyler Lockett is as much a franchise legend as you can be, right? He's a Seahawks lifer. He's adored by that organization. He made a great career for himself there for almost a whole decade. And when that kind of guy has their contract run up and every fan and every member of the media covering him is like, best of luck, man. You can go. Yeah. We're good. We're
Appreciate you. Thanks.
That's usually it's usually an indicator that it's over. And when the Titans signed Tyler Lockett, I don't think anybody was under the impression that he was going to be some revolutionary player, right? It was a floor-raising move. But as we've seen so far this year, He has caught 10 passes on 21 targets off the top of my head. I think that's correct.
Yep.
He has made practically no impressive plays. He doesn't crash to the ball.
No, he
doesn't
made one impressive play.
Remind me.
He scored a touchdown.
Oh, you're right. Technically, you're right. Technically impressive.
Where are the Titans? The Titans are at 0-6 without Tyler Lockett right now.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, no, they are. No, that's fact.
Yes. No, to my point, of the 21 targets, his touchdown was not one of them. So,
but he helped.
Fair enough.
The Titans do not win a game without Tyler Lockett.
And that's a savvy veteran move, right? That's a heads-up play by a veteran. So,
and Traylon Burks, same thing.
Credit where that's right. You know what? If you want to tie them together, that actually helps make my point. So, he's not a guy, as Extreme for Life says in the comments, 7 games, 70 yards. And then he goes on to Xavier Vrabel can do that. Well, we'll get to that in a minute, what this opportunity means for different players on the team. But Lockett was not moving the needle. And I wrote after the Raiders loss, just before they fired Callahan, about how I was sick and tired of seeing Tyler Lockett. It's nothing personal. I like the guy a lot. Really nice guy. Enjoy talking to him. I'm good. We don't need to see this anymore. It's not furthering the future of this franchise. It is taking away opportunities from other players on this roster who could be the future of the franchise. He is not helping Cam Ward of this offense in any way. It is time to be done. And the Titans, well, I guess Tyler Lockett technically agree with that, and the Titans agree with Tyler Lockett, and everybody decided to go their separate ways. Now, I know Buck Rising wrote this morning about how they always knew that they might cut him, that this may be a temporary thing. It ended up being a temporary thing. Releasing him instead of cutting him helps the roster or the finances of the team, and you can read all about that in Buck's article this morning. But I'm not surprised that they did this.
Yeah, Buck's article is doing great, Foo. For all the people, for Foo who thinks we've lost our audience, we're doing well.
Put a pin in that for my shade later.
Oh.
What's most interesting about this to me, Austin, now that I filibustered long enough, is what it means for the rest of the team. Because I do think that it opens up some opportunities from other guys.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to get to that in a second. I do, again, this show is going to have a lot of irony through it, and just how things have set up and line up, and how things now, you look back and reflect on the previous, the Tyler Lockett experience with, what's up, Monsoon? Good to see you. The Tyler Lockett experience started out with all this hype, right? Like this super great teammate. He was rolled out there as one of the veterans on the first time the Titans players met with the media for the offseason workout program after the draft. He was all like team captain type vibes, like doing the great leadership veteran stuff. And then remember the whole I grew up a Titans fan. I'm pumped to be here. This is great. And now it's like he didn't make it to Halloween. And it was like, everybody's like, yeah, we're good. And so I get it. It is a good thing. Somebody said early in the YouTube chat that this is not big news. It's not big news. It's good news. Right. And I think that's how we're going to phrase it. And we're going to go ahead and ask this question, because I don't think there's a loser at all in this situation. Nope. This is a true Michael Scott win situation.
Win-win.
In his compromise book there. So who is the biggest winner of all with Tyler Lockett and the Titans parting ways? That's the question we're going to toss to you guys. I'll throw that in the chat right now. Who is the biggest winner of all with Titans and Tyler Lockett parting ways? We'll go through all of that. But first, Easton, if you could, tell us all about our friends at the Bone and Joint Institute.
The Bone and Joint Institute, just off of I-65 down south of Cool Springs, just outside of Nashville. If you're in the area, you got to know who to trust with any kind of injury that you suffer in life. We trust our friends at boneandjointtn.org, the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedics and sports medicine. Located in Franklin, they got over a dozen specialists who can help you through any type of injury. State-of-the-art rehab facility, campus that helps your recovery, whatever you need, clinic, testing, imaging, surgery, rehab, it's all under the one roof for your convenience. Schedule an appointment today. Go to boneandjointtn.org.
Easton's wearing the hat. I don't even need the graphic. BTA Sports, better for bettors. That's right. BTA Sports, they helped JT and I combine for a 2-0 record when the Titans went 0-1 on Sunday in that game against the Patriots. But BTA Sports can help you become a better sports bettor and a great fantasy football player with all the projections, the models, the overs, the unders, the spreads, the player props that they have right there. And you can get a 14-day free trial. Guys, you need entertainment in your life, especially if you're watching the Titans. So why not take advantage of the 14-day free trial? That's 2 full weeks at least of football betting that you can take advantage of before you pay a $9.99 weekly subscription. That's just $9.99. It's nothing. Like, you're going to make your winnings help you make your money back with your winnings that BTA is going to help you with. So download the app today. Use the link on the Facebook title and the YouTube description, or our code ATOZ14 when you download the BTA Sports app. They also have great hats, as they sent us.
If any of our sponsors want to buy their way to free advertising, I am a sucker for good merch. If you send me the merch and it's high quality, I don't care what you put on it. I'll wear it.
And that, you can't tell, but there's a little like light camo on that front of that white hat.
It is, and it's like sport. You can't see it because it's like sport mesh. It's like a nice hat. JT handed it to me. I was like, I'm gonna have to wear this now. This is crazy.
Legit. I've worn mine a lot on and off the show over the last.
There's a black one too. They got us all kinds of stuff.
I got a beanie. I got 2 beanies.
Same. I know. I'm ready for the cold weather.
All right, bring it on. All right, so the question we just asked. A note
to our other sponsors, just throwing that out there. Send us stuff. We will wear it. We really will.
Okay, who is the biggest winner of all, with the Titans and Tyler Lockett parting ways? There's a lot. There is no loser in this. I believe this. So Easton, what are you seeing from the chat on the biggest winner of all in this situation?
I am seeing from Duran Lockett, obviously, because he gets to get out of this disaster of a team. Chim DK from Top Tier, Lockett from Caps. The young receivers, says Darius, in all caps, elongated. Garrett says Restrepo. Rooney, Xavier Restrepo. Adam says DK. Rambo says Lockett. Chris says Lockett. X, Xavier Restrepo. Lockett. The Titans are 1-6. The rookie receivers from Corey. So we have identified all of the winning parties here. Well done, everybody. Good job. A+.
What about the team? The team saved some money. Not that
technically true. Good point.
Again, I'm just showing all.
They don't need it, but they did save it. You're right.
Everybody wins.
Right.
Lockett,
they don't need
the
team,
money,
but they
the players. Some. What about somebody? Jeff says the Bucks. They'll sign him and he'll flourish. The Bucks. Mike Evans goes down last night. They have
flourish
so many.
Is a strong word.
Well, yeah, I don't know if Tyler Lockett's
that's
flourishing.
Still in his bag at this point.
Yeah, I agree. But again, there's other teams that could do it.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, he listen. He'll go somewhere and he'll catch some footballs. There's a reason why he wanted out. There's a reason why this is a win for him. It's not a win just that he gets to go sit on his couch now. He'll go find another spot because there are teams that are desperate for a high floor, reliable veteran receiver. Even if you're really not bringing much juice, can you just be a body out there who can be in the right spot and catch the ball? If so, welcome to the squad. And Tyler Lockett is going to offer that to somebody.
So I'm going to answer the question without my official answer, but eliminating one answer first.
Okay. I have a guess.
And then I'll give you my answer. The reason why it's not Xavier Restrepo right now is because Calvin Ridley and Bryce Oliver are hurt. I think if the Titans had both those guys healthy, then Xavier Restrepo rises up the biggest winner board of this Tyler Lockett Titans parting ways situation.
Sure.
But because the Titans are down 2 of their outside receivers, that makes Restrepo still an afterthought. So I wanted to start that out there with the Restrepo stuff because it's a very popular answer. People are very excited about Restrepo, but that's just not there yet. It is not. He is a winner in the situation.
It's not a win.
Yeah,
it's not a loss.
He is a winner in the situation because he is one step closer to being active on game day than he was before Tyler Lockett and the Titans split.
Yes.
And Patricia says, Austin, Buck said Prochet and Kinsey are ahead of Restrepo. Exactly.
Well, they obviously are. I mean, Buck doesn't have to say that. Look at who's been activated on game days this year and who hasn't. But
yes.
Yes.
So that I wanted to start off with.
Restrepo was wide receiver 9. He's now wide receiver 8.
Yeah. And I think because you saw it's the slot deal, right? Tyler Lockett was a slot only for this Titans offense, and Restrepo is a slot only for this Titans offense. So you get even more of a bump there too. So that is not my answer, but I wanted to address the Xavier Restrepo part of the conversation. Do you want to give your answer of who the biggest winner is?
Sure. I'll say Chim DK. I think is probably the most popular answer in the comments. It may even be your answer as well. He was a guy when they brought him in. The plan that I heard all summer long, and I think this remains the plan, was for him to be a big slot, ideally in this offense, and he's primarily a big slot. Again, these guys all move around, and he has outside ability, and he's played flanker a decent amount this year as well. But his skill set is such that they would really like to develop him in that area of the field, pushing the seam, getting distance down the field the way that we saw him do in this past game. Like somebody that can stretch the field from that seam position is really valuable on an offense, and I think that he is well suited for that. I also think that he's somebody that can continue to develop in space. So I think that that's what this allows for. Not to say that Tyler Lockett was completely keeping him out of that, because in the past couple of weeks we've seen one do more and one do less. Like Tyler Lockett didn't do anything in the game last weekend until the third quarter, right?
Yeah,
the very end.
Third quarter, I guess he had 2 catches back to back. That was it.
I was talking to Tehran at halftime in the press box. I think Tyler Lockett had like 3 total snaps at that point. So we were trending in this direction anyways, and it's a part of the reason why what happened yesterday happened. I just think that this is the official runway for Chim Dike to be a starter. Like we're at week 8 now, and we spent all summer talking about when will, if this ever comes to fruition, like will we see Chim Dike and Alec Ayaman as starters on this team? And the answer is yeah, by week 8 before Halloween. It's Calvin, it's Alec, and it's Chim. That's what the Titans are doing now.
Right now it's Alec and Chim.
That's right.
With no Calvin. And Van has stepped up, and done a decent job. But he has. It
bears pointing out that ever since we bullied Van Jefferson in the preseason, he has done nothing
wrongly
wrong.
Bullied, because that pass, because that was the first, the Van Jefferson drop in Atlanta was the first Cam threw it too hot moment. But I was on it. You guys weren't. Now you guys are on it. Cam throws the ball too hot sometimes.
Listen,
but
the unfortunate lesson here is that bullying works, because he's been great since then.
Especially cyberbullying. That really works. Joking.
We're big fans of cyberbullying around here.
All right. So anyway, there's a couple comments in the super chat on the Tyler Lockett part of this. Before we move on from the bigger conversation, I want to go ahead and get the super chats that are relevant now out there. Because Andre says, I remember all offseason how Easton was arguing with fans about Lockett and how he provided so much to the roster, and we were foolish to want Restrepo. I don't remember this at all. Maybe if you were arguing Lockett versus Restrepo, but you cut
this
Tyler
is revisionist
Lockett,
history,
right?
So yeah, Edward says this too. Easton, you never said that when he signed. Here are the 2 things, and there's paper trail of this that I said about Tyler Lockett over the offseason. Number 1, I argued in OTAs in May, and we did a whole show about how I did not think Tyler Lockett was even a lock to make the team, and a lot of you thought I was dumb for that.
You did that throughout training camp.
Correct. Yeah, I hung on to it probably for too long until I decided, he is a lock for the team. So that doesn't track. Also, when I went and did a over the deep part of the summer doing a breakdown of position by position on the roster, article by article, my article on Lockett was I segmented the receivers, and I bucketed Lockett and Van Jefferson, and the title was something akin to the veterans you might need, but you hope you don't need. Mm-hmm. And the whole point was that these guys are around in case of emergency, but ideally they get phased out entirely.
Yeah, so you kind of need them now, but you hopefully don't need them later.
I think I've been pretty consistent on this, and anyone that thinks I was really pumping Lockett is making things up. I don't know.
I think Andre. If you were arguing between Tyler Lockett and Xavier Restrepo, then sure, this is probably correct, because Tyler Lockett is better than Xavier Restrepo.
He's probably thinking about the very end of training camp when we were talking about the actual 53. And I had to keep explaining to people why the coaching staff was going to favor Lockett over Restrepo for obvious reasons. But that wasn't a pro-Lockett situation. Also, I was just the messenger on that. I was just explaining what they think, not what I think.
Yeah, I think that's something that gets lost along the way a lot, is like when you and your reporter seat are telling people what the team you're covering thinks, and not your opinion. Right. So Jack asks, here's my question. Why did Lockett sign here? What did they sell him on?
To be honest, I think, again, consider the timing. This was April 17th or something. 20, whatever it was. Yeah. It was late April. He didn't have any other offers. So
Cam.
He's the Sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it was total desperation, but I think the driving factor was he is the exact prototype of a veteran player that isn't really desirable until you get close to the season or in the season and people are needing reserves. Like the reason why we're all confident he's going to land somewhere now is because there are teams like the Bucks that are so beat up that they're just looking for able-bodied guys. But in March and in April, when free agency's happening and people are getting the big bucks, no one's rushing to spend on Tyler Lockett.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So we're going to move on from Tyler Lockett because Randy says, still on Lockett. Okay. We'll move on from that. But that was the news of yesterday. The original plan for today's show is what we're about to get to here in a second. What started the Titans' 48-game downward spiral with Mike Vrabel as the head coach? This is something that we all know this information, but I truly do think I've packaged it in the way that I've packaged it. That's fresh and new to look at it in a different way. So we'll get to all this here in a second. But first, Barton Drury Insurance Group, customized solutions for all of your insurance needs. BartonDrury.com is their website. Their phone number is 615-806-1265. All you got to do is call them. Hey, A to Z said you can help me save some money on my insurance, and they will go to work for you because they have a great staff. The four partners of Barton Drury are phenomenal people. They're local. They're here. They're Titans fans. They're sports guys as well. And their support staff is easy to work with as well. Whenever we have an update for our workers' comp or an update for health coverage or dental or whatever our employees are needing, they are right there to take it the extra mile. So Zach and I are basically hands off of this whole thing. Like they keep us in the loop. We know what's going on. They help us out and make it a lot easier for us as business owners to do our business while helping our employees stay covered and get what they need as well. They have so many different ways you can use them. Health, auto, rental, what at home, they've got it all for you. Umbrella policies, 401k planning for the long term, all these things right here at bartondrury.com.
We're also brought to you by BTA Sports, better for bettors, dominating the game. It's on my hat. Check them out. Use our link in the description below to get a 14-day free trial. It is a machine learning AI analytics betting model for your convenience for serious bettors, serious sports fans. Make some money with BTA Sports.
All right. So, Easton, I know we've got a graphic we need to update here, but so the last 48.
Oh, yeah. My bad.
Normally, it's the first 48 hours of a crime that you have to really do a lot of legwork in, or you're going to have a tough time. But the last 48 games, I think the irony of what just happened with the Titans losing to Mike Vrabel being the 48th game since this line that I'm drawing in the sand of when the Titans fell off a cliff, when it actually happened, and how ironic it is that in the last 48 games, 24 of them were coached by Mike Vrabel. 24 of them were not coached by Mike Vrabel. And so here is the last, the Todd Downing DUI. So I don't know if this is a curse or what, but there have been 48 games played by the Titans since Todd Downing got a DUI the night after the Titans won in Green Bay, which was also the last time they won back-to-back games. They beat the Broncos on Sunday in Nashville. They fly to Green Bay, beat Aaron Rodgers and the Packers on Thursday night. And then they fly back. Todd Downing gets pulled over on the way home in Williamson County. We wake up to that news on Friday morning. The Titans continue to lose 7 consecutive games that season. They missed the playoffs. So in those 48 games since Todd Downing's DUI, John Robinson was fired 3-ish weeks after that. Mike Vrabel fired a year later. Rand Carthon fired a year later. And Brian Callahan fired 1 week ago. Mike Vrabel's record in his final 24 games was 6-18. 24 games post Mike Vrabel, 4-20. Not that much of a difference at all, right? Like that's two. Mike Vrabel was 2 wins better than Brian Callahan and Mike McCoy. Mike Vrabel was 2 wins better and had Derrick Henry than Brian Callahan and Mike McCoy. I'm not trying to cope for Brian Callahan at all. I'm just telling you the facts. Mm-hmm. There are 2 games that were Derrick Henry games that equal the difference between those 2 24-game splits. right? The
Yeah,
last game Mike Vrabel coached, which was home versus the Jags, where Derrick Henry punked the Jaguars one more time in the Titan uniform. And then earlier in that season, week 4, when he punked the Bengals and future head coach Brian Callahan in the booth on the other side to a lopsided victory as well. And then another time they won a game where Derrick Henry had 100 yards rushing in that 6 wins was Will Levis's 4-touchdown game against the Falcons in his debut. So really, that's the difference in Mike Vrabel's last 24 and the 24 games after Mike Vrabel. So I'll let you jump in here with some thoughts because I've got some more.
Yeah, every sports corporate account in the world you've seen in the past 7 days around the Mike Vrabel return to Tennessee game has put out some graphic where it's like, games the Titans have won since they fired Mike Vrabel. 4 games Mike Vrabel has now won in his first 7 games with the Patriots. 5. It's like, well, the number you're forgetting, if we're going in counting order, is 6, which is the number of games Vrabel won in his final 24 games in Tennessee, which is the important context. If you're wondering why in the world did they fire the guy? Well, because he had 2 losing seasons, and more importantly, I maintain that Mike Vrabel, the head coach, probably shouldn't have been fired, but Mike Vrabel, the GM, left the team no choice.
He kind of overplayed his power. In a situation.
That's the reality. And so I have mixed emotions on them firing him in the first place, but I completely understand why they did it. And I understand that it looks bad now, for sure. Mike Vrabel also inherited a team with an MVP candidate at quarterback. So, that part helps a little bit. Go look. He's top 3 in MVP
but he wasn't an MVP candidate when Vrabel inherited him. He was a second-year quarterback who had a lot to prove after a really rough year 1.
Yeah, what is the? No, this is revisionist history, by the way.
He played well. The show. Drake may have played well as a rookie within the margins, right? Which is what we want Cam to do here, but Cam's not doing.
He showed every bit of nothing. If folks really paid attention to Drake May's rookie year, it's really not that surprising what he's doing right now. It's really not.
Nobody 7-8 weeks ago was saying Drake May rookie MVP campaign. Nobody was saying
MVP, no, but breakout second year, absolutely.
Sure. He was
I think people that were really watching, which I don't blame you if you didn't watch the Patriots last year, it was a dumpster fire. I get it. But if you really watched Drake May, the signs of him being maybe sneaky the best quarterback from that class, which right now is not crazy to say, right? It felt crazy when everybody's like, well, Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams was still the first pick for a reason. Brother, Drake May, is the truth, and we're seeing it now. So I'm not trying to take away from Vrabel, to get back to Vrabel. Yeah. I'm just saying he has a quarterback that's playing out of his gourd right now, and that helps a lot with winning games.
Right.
Back to this. Where are you on? Or do we want to ask we asked the question before the break, and we've got some answers.
Well, I didn't ask the question. I teased. That was an old fashioned.
You're right. You verbally mentioned the question, and people decided it was time to chime in.
Darren says the DUI got nothing to do with it except it being ironically symbolic, which irony is the theme of the show today. If you want to really get deep into it. Because the irony of Tyler Lockett, I'm a Titans fan. I'm pumped to be here. Welcome to the squad. Every draft pick, I'm out. And then also the 48, right? Because Todd Downing's DUI is not the reason why the football gods are not punishing the Titans and making them go 10-38 in the 48 games since Todd Downing's DUI. But Easton, do you know what their win-loss record in the 48 games before Todd Downing's DUI? Because that's the math I also did this morning. So 10-38 post DUI. Are you ready? It's damn near flipped. 32-16.
Yeah.
So is
that bad?
The line of Downing DUI. 32-16 DUI. 10-38. And then
everyone says the Downing
2
DUI.
GMs, 2 head coaches axed within that time.
Yeah, no, it is an insane inflection point in Titans history because everything has fallen apart since then. I think it's also important to point out for the record, shielded by the Downing DUI is the fact that that's when Nick Suss arrived on the beat. So I just want to point out that my friend Nick Suss of the Tennessean may also be the cause of this curse.
When did he show up?
Apparently, right then.
Mid-season?
He always says that the minute he showed up is when things fell apart. So I think that's around when he showed up. So
wild. That is crazy.
Keep that in mind next time you say a nice thing about Nick Suss.
I should tell Sam because Sam came on the beat when the Titans were coming off 3 straight playoff appearances, and then they traded AJ Brown, and then Traylon Burks came in. Sam's first day of work was the Traylon Burks presser. And it's been awful. So I'll tell Sam.
So we know they're cursed. We've got options as to who is cursing them.
That made Todd Downing's DUI, right?
No, well,
who was also
leading candidate.
Ironically, the Patriots coaching staff, Todd Downing. So you have all these
receiver
things,
coach,
right? You have all these things coming back because the 48th game to have it be 24 games of Vrabel, 24 games of not Vrabel. Kind of capitalized at the end with another loss to Mike Vrabel, Todd Downing, and every other former Titans staff member or player that's with the Patriots right now is just so thick in all of this. Yeah. And I just, I'm sitting here thinking of how ugly it is and how bad it is. And now we can ask the question officially.
I was about to say, some people in the chat are asking if our actual answer to the question of what caused this is the Downing DUI. No, we do have real answers that we'll now talk about.
Yes. So what is truly the biggest reason for the Titans' downward spiral over the last 48 games? What is truly the biggest reason? There are many reasons, right? Just like everybody was a winner with Tyler Lockett and the Titans parting ways. But what is the truly biggest reason for the Titans' downward spiral over the last 48 games? Easton, I'll have you keep an eye on the chat. If you want to try to identify the top 4 most popular answer, maybe we can put a YouTube poll together once we gather what the 4 most popular are and kind of narrow it in a little bit. But real quick, let me tell you guys about my friends at Window Nation. I tell you they're my friends because I'm getting new windows next month. Super excited about that. At our home, been here for 2 years, have had the windows on the long-term project list because we've got the old metal builder grade windows that are net negative. They're costing us more money because they don't keep the temperature inside our home what we want it to be. It's too much. Is it affected by outside, whether it's getting cold overnight, warmer during the day? You're going to heat and AC back and forth this time of year in Middle Tennessee, but Window Nation will help us out in the future, especially this winter with our new windows that have triple silver linings. Did you know that the good windows have silver lined in them? That's wild, but that it truly is a massive upgrade with Window Nation. Not only is it going to increase the value of our home, the aesthetics of our home, it's going to increase our quality of life inside of our home while we're here. And super excited about this. And Window Nation has made it such a great process as well. Buy 2 windows, get 2 windows free. No payments needed for at least 2 years. That is saving you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. I'm not even kidding. Thousands and thousands of dollars in savings for Window Nation. If you want to help yourself out and get yourself a better value of your home, Window Nation for a free estimate. You can have them come over, do the whole presentation, and not have to buy anything. That's fine, but you're going to love what they do. WindowNation.com.
BTA Sports, better for bettors. They power this show, and they can power your bets. Use the link in the description to get a 14-day free trial. Check out the analytics sports betting model they have over there at BTA Sports.
All right. So, Easton, we asked the chat, what is the biggest reason why the Titans have been on this 48-game spiral? Actually, let me read it. The biggest reason for the Titans spiral. What is the biggest reason? To the chat you go. I will let you read the answers because pre-Todd Downing DUI, the Titans in their 48 games were 30, 32, and 16. Post-Todd Downing DUI in 48 games, 10 and 38. So what are you seeing from the chat?
Demario says, John Robinson. Duran says 3 bad drafts. Equally, Amy Adams Strunk, too. Raz Biggie, get it right, Amy. The A.J. Brown trade, says Zachary. As does Nick, the A.J. Brown trade. Burning Devil says, Amy. That doesn't relate to this. Draft issues from Turbo. John Robinson, same deal. Roy says the offensive line, which is interesting because I feel like, if anything, that's one of the few things that has trended generally slightly in the right direction.
But it's taken a long time to do it.
It's not been enough, but it's not been worse because it's been bad for a while. Andre, 3 failed drafts. Jack Longley, J-Rob through Carthon, blown drafts. Bad drafts. The A.J. Brown trade. Injuries. John Robinson by a mile. Brian Callahan says loss of Arthur Smith as offensive coordinator.
Ooh.
And A.J. Brown. That's an interesting part of it. Because that was what? That was 22 was the last year he was here? Or 21?
21 season because
Right. Yep.
No. 2020 season, because that was yes, I'm correct. Okay, so Arthur Smith was the OC for the 2,000-yard season in 2020 because his last game was the home Ravens playoff
Ravens
game
loss
during the COVID rules when he had an interview with the Jags hours after the game, because I hated that decision to do that.
That's right. Zachary says Jack Gentry leaving A to Z Sports. This is his reason.
Jack was his last. Jack was there through Mike Vrabel's final 24, so it's not that. Jack lived through Vrabel's final 24.
Yes. Let's see.
Jack's still alive, by the way.
Yeah, Jack works in the Titans ticket office now. Curtis, Callahan's awful scheme and playbook. So he's blaming the Callahan regime. Horrible drafting, bad draft picks, Amy Adams Strunk being a broken clock, missing on draft picks. So the obvious, for poll purposes, the obvious top answers are the A.J. Brown trade, 3 disaster drafts, Amy Adams Strunk, which she's been around for all of it. So
look, if I have let me see if I can put up the thumbnail real fast, because I was proud of my thumbnail that I made today. So might as well throw it up on the screen. Why not? So let me see. It's loading real fast, because there are 6 individuals on this thumbnail. Only one of them remains, and it's the one that can literally not be fired, the owner. Tyler Lockett is gone. Mike Vrabel fired. John Robinson fired. Brian Callahan fired. Rand Carthon fired. And yes, I doctored the first 48 graphic into the last 48. I think that's
copyright infringement. They're gonna.
No, it's not. That's just creative as hell, because there are differences within that. It's not exactly
it's free use, man.
It's similar. So
I do love Lockett being like, I know why he's on there because he's news today, but it's like all these heavy hitters in Titans history, and then the receiver who was here for 7 games.
Yes. So all right, let's try to put up this YouTube poll. So let me start to build this YouTube poll, because we want to find the 4 most popular answers from this. And so
I don't know what the 4th is, to be honest.
So you said AJ Brown trade. Okay. Which happened.
Disaster draft.
Which happened. So the Titans trade AJ Brown. They start that 22 season off 7-4. Todd Downing DUI happens, and then they go 0-7, right? So AJ Brown trade is on the board. What else is on the board?
3 disaster drafts.
3 disaster draft classes. Okay. What's
Amy Adams Strunk
okay.
is a very popular answer.
And then
I really
4th,
don't know,
because like John Robinson is kind of the first 2.
Yes. So he can't be another. I mean, he can't be 3 of the answers. We've already got J Rob on there, so I don't know what the 4th is. There's not one that sticks out from the comments. I mean, some people said Callahan, but there was only like 3 of those answers for Callahan. I think we've already kind of shown that
the offensive line
didn't fix anything. But
I mean, we can just do a 3. We don't have to.
I think it's just. I mean, I really think it's between those 3. I think anything else we put in there is going to be no one's going to care. So I think it's one of those 3. Which I certainly don't think it's anything besides those 3 things personally. I think that's it right there.
All right, let me boom. All right, so that's off there. So the poll is off and running. We have 3 options. What's the biggest reason for the Titans' downward spiral over the last 48 games? AJ Brown trade, 3 disaster draft classes, or Amy Adams Strunk? So do you want to go first? We need the poll needs to kind of mature a little bit. So I'll let you go first if you want to. I've been talking a lot.
Yeah, and I don't mean to pick on Jose in the chat, but he says coaching, and then again coaching with exclamation points. This is starting to rub me the wrong way this season, and I'm not like trying to start some big long tangent diatribe here on this, but just generally speaking, it's bothering me where we're headed as a football culture. I feel like each passing day, fan bases are less and less, because like I'm looking around the league as the Titans have fired Brian Callahan. It's like, well, I saw a tweet from Greg Rosenthal at NFL Daily yesterday, and he said, I listened to a lot of team-specific podcasts, and none of y'all are happy. And there's just something going on in the NFL this year where who are the happy fan bases right now around the midpoint? It's like I think Colts fans are pretty darn happy because the expectations were low and they're killing it.
Yeah,
I think
also
Colts fans
are kind of like weird because like they don't really jump at things either. Like,
what do you mean?
Colts, they're not like, they're just kind of, I feel like they're almost, I mean, they're pleased, but they're not like ecstatic.
Interesting. The Colts fans in my life will not stop. I mean, you can't tell them nothing. So maybe it's just the Colts fans that you know.
Yeah.
So, and then I'm talking about like 3 people, but they're very, very happy. So I don't know.
Patriots fans are pretty happy because they have their guy back and they're 5-2 and they have a quarterback. Patriots fans,
right? It's really just the couple of teams that are far exceeding expectations. So Patriots, Colts. I think the Seahawks the same deal because their quarterback's playing way better than they thought that he would.
Like Eagles fans are
miserable.
They're not happy. I mean, but I don't think they're miserable either. But like
they seem to be.
Packers fans, they're kind of like Bucks fans, they're 5-2, but they don't have anybody to throw the ball to. They might have.
As I said, they're miserable because their whole team's dying.
Like the Detroit Lions, like I don't know. Bears fans they're 4-2, and they're the only team in the NFL that scored 21 points or more in the season this year in every game.
Yes, but Bears fans are so historically tortured that if you ask any Bears fan about their optimism right now, they're still cynical as all get out. Yeah, they're still.
Chargers fans are not happy. Sure as hell Chiefs fans aren't. Jags fans, they're 4-3. Maybe if they didn't just get shellacked this past Sunday, they'd be a lot better, but they're kind of
the vibes are bad
right
with
now.
Jacksonville right now.
Buffalo not happy.
Nope.
At all. So you got
the point is
Giants fans, Broncos fans are 5-2 and they're not happy because they just barely escaped freaking Jackson Dart's games.
That's right. The reason why I brought this up is because I'm also looking at college football too, and it's like some of these. What are fans clamoring for? And it's like, well, a lot of it is changes in coaching, right? Like Texas, people are screaming, Steve Sarkisian, stop calling plays. Got to give over the play calling. People in Denver, same thing with Sean Payton. Sean Payton, the offensive mind that he has, people are like, he's got to quit calling plays, man. This is where we're at as a society where I don't think it used to be this way, Austin. We're so quick, no matter what, to diagnose every problem with the football team by calling for coaching changes first. And we've talked about this some, but I just think philosophically, it makes sense that in our subconscious as fans, it is always going to be, it is flat out is easier to swallow the pill of your coaching is bad because it feels like coaching is dime a dozen, right? You can fire your coach at any time. You can hire a new coach at any time. There's no cap to worry about. There's no timing to worry about. It feels like there's less luck involved than with the draft. You go find the good guys, right? To accept that your roster is the problem or any given player is the problem is much harder a pill to swallow because you have to be patient and wait for a new player acquisition cycle. You also have to get lucky. You have to have the money for it. You have to be in the draft position to get the guy you want. Like it's harder. It's just harder. So I think we're leaning so far into our microwave culture of it's always the coaching. It's always the coaching. It's always the coaching. And we're also reticent to blame roster construction or individual player performance. And so my point here is when people say it's the coaching, the past 48 for the Titans, or it's, if really any answer, we've got Amy Adams Strunk on here, who I'm not trying to absolve her of blame in this. We can talk about it. We've got the AJ Brown trade on here, which is kind of roster adjacent, but it's not really getting the whole picture. To me, there's no question that it is the 3 failed draft classes because when we're not there yet, but somebody mentioned J-Rob and Rand Carthon in the comments a minute ago. Like there's still plenty of time for Carthon's draft classes to mature into something that is usable for this team, but the vibes aren't great. They aren't as good as they were, 12 months ago on the Carthon classes. But at the very least, the final 3 J-Rob draft classes were, when we say failed draft class, Austin, there's no hyperbole there. We're not leaning into a narrative like. There's not a single player from those draft classes there's hardly any of them that are on the roster, and there's none of them that are going to be on the roster beyond their first contract. It is 3 draft classes you lit on fire. They did not further the franchise in any way for 3 straight years. And when that happens to any team, no matter how good or bad you were before those 3 draft classes, it's going to screw you over in the following years. You're going to feel that pain. It's not always going to be instant, right? It's a delayed effect because you have to wait for the cap to adjust to that. You have to wait for the older players to age in a way where you then need the younger guys to step up and develop. And when they're not there stepping up and developing, it then hurts the team. And so that comes a year or 2 or 3 down the road from those draft classes. And that's where we're at right now. And we're feeling the peak of the brunt of that in the biggest possible way. Is it the only reason? No, but the same thing I've been saying basically all year, not in defense of Callahan or the coaching or any of these coaches still there. I just, every single Sunday when I watch this team, do I think that, yes, some of these players are not playing to their potential and very few of them are overachieving? Absolutely. And that's where the coaching comes into the play of this, because it is fair to say that players, even if they're not the most talented in the world, they are allowed to overachieve, right? That happens in the NFL. And the Titans aren't getting that from many guys, not consistently at all. But in general, the talent is just not there, and that's because of John Robinson.
So your vote is squarely on the 3 disaster draft classes, right?
Yes.
And that's where I am, and that's where the majority of the poll results are. I'll continue to let that going. So it sucks because if somebody asks like me just randomly in life, like, why are the Titans so bad? And you have that like mental, Easton, you know what I'm talking about. You have like the mental conversation with yourself is, how deep do I need to give this person of an answer? Like, how deep of an answer do I need to go with this person in this situation? And you're like, all right, if you get time, it's because John Robinson drafted 23 players from 2020 to 2023, and literally only 2 of them are still on the team. It's Roger McCreary and Chig Okonkwo. Both guys,
and both are going to be done this year.
Both guys could be traded by the end of this month, and then you have 0 of 23 on the team.
Yeah,
and like you're going to have natural attrition of draft classes. Like, it is 2025. There have been 6 draft classes since the Isaiah Wilson draft class. So the odds of all of those guys being on the same team 6 draft classes later is very low. But you got to at least have a couple, right? And so somebody asked how many of these players are still in the league. And I think that's a fun little exercise to go through. Let's start in the 2020 class. Isaiah is not. Christian Fulton is. I think Darrington Evans actually is. I think he had a hiatus. I think he's back in the league. I don't know if he's in a practice squad or not, but
he totally is, because I heard his name and I don't know where.
Right.
But he totally is in the league.
Laurel Murchison, I don't think is still in the league. No. Cole McDonald definitely isn't. And then Chris Jackson, cornerback, 7th round pick, I don't think is either. So you go to the 2021 class, Caleb Farley, I don't think he's still playing. Dylan Radins, he's definitely in the league somewhere.
He's in New Orleans.
In New Orleans?
Yeah, and the fans hated him about 7 seconds after he got there.
There you go. Apparently Murchison's still playing for the Rams.
Oh, excuse us.
Wow.
Sorry, Laurel.
Shout out Laurel Murchison making that healthful career, making some money.
You know what? That's right, because like last year, some random primetime game, my ears perked up when I was not paying attention because it was a Laurel Murchison sack, and I was like, who? Yeah.
So Monty Rice, top 100 draft pick.
What's
he
doing?
He was in a camp. Somebody from A to Z texted me asking a question about Monty Rice because I think their team just signed him. I was like, that guy.
Oh, you're totally right, because you sent it to me and you're like, you got a blurb of Monty Rice, and I was like, honestly, I don't, dog. I got nothing.
Yeah. Tread lightly. Des Fitzpatrick.
As of the beginning of September, he is on the. Oh, just kidding. He was on the Lions practice squad, but he was released on September 16th.
Yeah,
and he's currently floating out there.
Des Fitzpatrick, Elijah Molden's still with the Chargers. Des Fitzpatrick.
Elijah Molden's still starting, doing the thing, man.
Right? Yeah. Rashad Weaver, Racing Math, Brady Breeze, and we're gonna go through the names. Like, they're not here. Like Traylon Burks. Right, NPF is out of the league. Malik Willis is a backup. Hassan Haskins with the Chargers. Chig is still here. Kyle Phillips, I believe, is on the practice squad somewhere. Theo Jackson's playing a lot of good football with the Vikings. And has been. That was a bummer of a waiver. The Titans, a mistake that they had at the end of that camp, because he's been playing a lot of snaps for the Vikings. And then Chance Campbell, who is just always injured but had upside. So look, I think that's kind of even more of a bummer. Like, there's still a lot of these guys in the league for somebody else
doing something,
and they're probably better than they were here.
Almost exclusively better. Yes. I think so. All of those guys. I mean, Laurel Murchison, I'm still geeked over Laurel. I'm looking up his numbers now as you continue.
So, I mean, the answer is the draft classes. But I want to get to something else. I want to go to the next level of this.
Okay.
And so I know you're looking stuff up, but I'll make you do a live read first. So the next level of this that I want to, because I think somebody had what could have been the fourth answer of the option of the poll, but I want to get your thoughts on it. But first, tell us about Botero cards.
Botero carts, I will step away from Laurel Murchison's stat research for our friends at Botero carts. Life is short. Buy a golf cart. If you are in the Middle Tennessee area and you are interested in buying a golf cart, and why wouldn't you? I mean, golf carts are fun. It's a great way to get around. It's a good time for a joyride in the summer months, the spring months, basically everything but the deep winter in Nashville. It's perfect weather to drive your golf cart around. You need to check out our friends at Botero Carts. They've got 2 locations, so there's no excuse. There's always going to be a location near you, no matter where you live in this area, Columbia or in Gallatin. Check them out. They're locally owned and operated. They're a full-service sales and rental dealership, and they got fantastic financing for you. Open 7 days a week. Carts starting at $6,800. 0% financing for 36 months. That's 3 years. 0% financing on carts that are stored indoors, pristine condition, and they got no dealer fees, no credit card fees. There's even a no credit needed option if that's something that you're interested in. Check them out. Buy a golf cart with our friends at Botero Carts.
BTA Sports, download the app today. You can do that with a couple different ways. The link in the Facebook title, the YouTube description, you click that, or you go download the app directly and use the code ATOZ14. When you sign up, it gives you a 14-day free trial, normally a 3-day free trial, but with our code ATOZ14 in our link, 14-day free trial to become a better sports bettor for you. They'll give you a lot of models, projections, numbers that you can use on your book, whatever book you are, because BTA wants us all to beat Vegas and dominate the game with BTA Sports, better for bettors. Okay, so what could be the fourth option? Because right now the poll is, what is truly the biggest reason for the Titans' downward spiral over the last 48 games, which is since the Todd Downing DUI. The Titans are 10-38 in the last 48 games. I'll put up the graphic. All fired since the Todd Downing DUI. John Robinson, Mike Vrabel, Rand Carthon, Brian Callahan. Vrabel's record in his last 24 games, 6-18. Since Mike Vrabel was fired, 24 games as well, capped by Vrabel beating the Titans. 4-20 record there combined. And Derrick Henry made up a lot of half of Vrabel's 6 were Derrick Henry 100-yard rushing games there too. So Derrick Henry has not been here, and the Titans really haven't had 100-yard rushers in a win since then. So the poll reads 61% is going to the 3 disaster draft classes. 26% is the A.J. Brown trade, and then 13% is Amy Adams-Strunk.
And the thing is, they're all intertwined. The AJ trade is literally a subsection of the 3 disaster draft classes.
Yeah.
Alliterative. The Amy thing, I don't really know what there is to say, because I don't want to let her off the hook in this, because I am sorry?
No, I said right.
Oh, okay. I am somebody that, because there's been a lot of talk about this as the national reaction has kind of caught up to the Titans news since they fired Brian Callahan. A lot of these insider articles and the talking head shows, they're generally talking, poorly about Amy in the context of look at who she's fired in the last 3 years or whatever it is. She's never aligning the GM, the head coach, or the quarterback, and she's never being patient with anybody. Titans fans have pretty universally, at least that I've seen on Twitter anecdotally, so it has to be the truth, have generally said, well, yeah, but you guys you clearly don't know what you're talking about, man, because yeah, she's fired these guys pretty quick, but they've all deserved it, right? Maybe outside of Vrabel.
In a vacuum, of course, they've all deserved it.
Right, they've all deserved it. And I'm somebody, when I look at the 10,000-foot view, I lean towards what the national guys are saying. I understand where Titans fans are coming from with you guys don't know the context of Callahan and how terrible things were. You don't know the context of Carthon and the things that we heard from behind the scenes and that whole situation. There are reasons behind these things, but generally speaking, the fact that she's never aligning anybody and the fact that she is giving everybody 24 or fewer games to do something with this decrepit roster that needs stability, needs development, and needs these guys need a runway to be able to do anything with it, is still a black mark on her to me, a big one. Yeah. I read Albert Breer. I'm going to write about this today. I read Albert Breer's column. I think he wrote it yesterday, And his section on the Titans began with, and this is an exact quote, but it's roughly this. He was like, the biggest thing Amy Adams Strunk has to do now is give her football people time. And I roll my eyes when I read that. Not a shot at Albert at all. Albert's right. Of course he's right. But this is not new. We've said this over and over and over, and it feels like it feels like your buddy who's in a relationship that's really rocky, and they keep taking a break and they keep getting back together, and it's like, well, this time it'll be different. I have mentioned this on the show before, and I know it annoys you, but I'm going to mention it again because it's so true, and it's part of what I'm writing. The fable of the scorpion and the frog could not be a better descriptor of what Amy Adams Strunk is right now. And the very, very short version of the fable, and this is nerdy, but it is spot on. There's a scorpion and a frog, and the scorpion's trying to cross a river. Scorpions can't swim. The scorpion asks the frog, will you give me a ride on your back to cross the river? And the frog says, no way. You're a predator. You'll sting me, and I'll die. And the scorpion says, why would I do that to you? If I sting you, I will sink too. It will kill me. Why would I do that to myself? And the frog, considering this mutually assured destruction, says, okay, and gives the scorpion a ride. In the middle of the river, the scorpion stings the frog. Shocked, betrayed, sinking, the frog says, why did you do this, scorpion? Now we're both doomed. And the scorpion says, I'm sorry, frog. It's in my nature. It's what I do. I'm a scorpion. I sting people. Amy has to stop being the scorpion. Yeah. When she promises these guys this runway and says, why would I fire you after 24 games with basically a rookie Will Levis and a rookie Cam Ward? No. We'll give you time. It would make me look bad to do this to you. And then she does it anyways because it apparently is in her nature to be reactive in this way and to be impatient in this way. Nothing's going to change until she stops doing that. So I just quit being the scorpion, Amy.
So should we start calling Amy Adams Strunk the scorpion?
I might. Amy is the scorpion. And if people know their Aesop's fables, they will know what that's in reference to. Yeah. But is that not exactly what she is?
No, that's yes. She
cannot help herself because it is in her nature.
No, I'm going to give you time. I'm going to give you time, but no. So, all right. So I did kind of tease that I think there's another fourth option because Anthony says, Austin, why the hate for Vrabel? Did he pee in your Cheerios? No. But because I'm about to bring this up, it's a pro Vrabel thing. Because Malachi brought something up that he's like, how is hiring a GM Vrabel not a reason for our poll? And I think this is a good spot because for the reason why it's not in the poll is because it wasn't a popular vote. And we wanted to go with the most popular items for the option. So the last 48, right? Here's where I'm looking at. Because it was bad. John Robinson's 3 failed draft class had happened before anybody had been fired. They were 7-4. The Downing DUI happens. They lose a couple games, and A.J. Brown embarrasses them in the link in Philly. Robinson's gone right after that. They lose out the season. There is a spot to fix it. So what if the reason why they were in a bad spot in 2022 is because they didn't have a good enough roster from the 20 and the 21 draft class that were second, third year guys to help that rookie class, to help the veteran core that was still around. So here is another option. The hiring process that led to Rand Carthon. That is the first time that Amy in the front office stacked losses. Because firing John Robinson made sense. He earned it, right? With how bad his draft classes were and how bad A.J. Brown torched him in Philly.
The timing was one thing, but generally him being done after that year, absolutely.
But firing John Robinson in December versus January, there is no difference in that for a general manager. Honestly, you want to get ahead of it more.
No, in terms of the impact on the team, I'm with you. I just think that was kind of a canary in the coal mine of Amy. This is the way Amy operates. Like that was a sign. In hindsight, it's like, yep, of course she did it after that game, reactively. Was it appropriate? Yes. Was it reactive? Also, yes.
So now you've got the process of hiring Rand Carthon is where I think you could have fixed it and you could have survived and turned back up.
Yes.
But that was not handled correctly because Rand Carthon was brought in. There is some, was there some winking and nodding, not pressure, but just like a, hey, Ran Carthon from the league. Ran Carthon's a good candidate. Titans. Yes. And then Vrabel, who likes Ran Carthon as a person, didn't think Ran Carthon was ready for the big GM job. He was an assistant GM job. Vrabel wanted his guy Cowden, which Amy thought that he would just basically be the de facto GM if Cowden was the GM. Vrabel's pulling the strings on that. So,
which is true, by the way. Amy was right to think that.
But Amy goes back and remembers her dad did the same thing with Jeff Fisher. Floyd Reese out, Jeff Fisher more power, and then it crumbles again. So she doesn't want that to happen, right? So there's a lot of these things that make sense on why it happened the way it happened. But it
should have been neither was the real answer. Like, it shouldn't have been a binary choice between Cowden and Carthon, because if you're trying to align the coach and the GM, which you should be doing, if Vrabel just honestly did not think that Ran was ready for it, and I think we now know not a terrible take at the time, then you should not have hired Ran to pair with that coach. You're asking for trouble. I also think it's fair for Amy to say, well, the Cowden thing would be just like Fisher, like my dad did, and that also probably bad news. And we'll see if that becomes, we'll see how that works in New England, because currently Cowden and Vrabel are winning that power struggle, and they're the guy that operates as the GM or whatever. I'm forgetting his name. He's basically useless up there right now. It should have been somebody else, right? Don't you? I mean, they should have gone with a third option that Vrabel was like, okay, I would still rather have Cowden, but at least I think this guy's ready. Right. I can work with this guy.
Like, we all think that Mike Vrabel's a good football coach. Nobody's disagreeing with that. But so again, I think if you're looking at where did they start to stack big losses, is
Elliot Wolf. Thank you.
So that's from Charles. So the hiring process that led to Ran Carthon, I think, is the next best spot to look at of like where the Titans continued to go wrong. They were going wrong. It was the delayed reaction to the bad draft classes, because you saw the holes in the roster get bigger and bigger and bigger as those draft classes were supposed to be the main core. So I think that's a really good spot there. All right, we have a ton of super chats to get to, and we've already it's 9:20. We got a lot, and we got shade because Easton's fired up for shade.
I will keep my shade brief, but I will be hot about it.
All right, so let's get to some the chats here that are relevant to this specific conversation. D-Lo comes in, says might be off topic or maybe, but it does have to do with Amy. But do you guys think we will end up regretting not taking the Giants offer for all those picks? Again, that's who knows right now.
Short answer, no. From a process standpoint. Now, will we maybe get to the point where Abdul Carter's awesome? Right. Like, well, we would need another show for that to break all that down. But generally speaking, is it possible that Abdul Carter becomes awesome and Cam Ward doesn't work in the NFL? 100%. That's possible. I still don't think it was the wrong idea to take the guy. Like, I'm never going to, and this goes back to the Will Levis thing. A lot of people love to be like, the Titans should never have traded up for Will Levis. Philosophically, I'm never really able to blame a team for taking a swing on a quarterback if they're convicted on a quarterback in the draft, because the surplus value added if you hit is so astronomically high. I will always understand taking a swing on a quarterback. So no. If you have the first pick and you think a quarterback's worthy of the first overall pick, you take the quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Andre comes in and says the 3 drafts created swift roster decay that led to big free agent splashes that miss, also led to the rotation of GM and head coach who can't succeed without talent. Yep. Nailed it. It's a great comment, perfect Andre. Summary. That's the Titans since Todd Downing.
I'm going to write this down for when I need a succinct answer to somebody that's like passing me in church that asks that question. I'm like, I don't have time for this. Here's your answer. These 3 sentences.
Yes. Andre has another one too. Easton saying fans were overreacting for no reason about CB5 Jarvis Brown trade, while secondary is garbage and Brownlee's grading high in New York. You didn't say this. Like, Andre, you had a great super chat.
Andre's putting all kinds of words in my mouth this morning. I did not say I wrote about how I think this is going to backfire on the Titans. Again, you're shooting the messenger. A lot of my explanation on Brownlee being traded was explaining why the team decided they needed to do it. In the same breath, in those articles at the end, I talk about how I was and still am a Jarvis Brownlee fan. The football player on the field, is he perfect? No, but I think that he's going to develop into a good cornerback, and it's going to look bad for the Titans for a long time. I said these things. Read my work, Andre. It's good stuff.
C-Rich has a couple here. One thing that's not talked about, we're missing the one thing that makes a rookie quarterback's life easier. Run game, maybe the worst in the NFL. I don't know if it's the worst run game in the NFL. It's just an underutilized run game because they get so behind.
I think we think it's bad because they don't get to use it. I actually super disagree with it being the worst. The two running backs they have are pretty productive. They just get like a combined 14 touches in the game because they keep getting slaughtered.
Because the quarterback turns the ball over. Now they're down points because the defense can't hold up. Jeff gets hurt, and boom, the wheels fall off. And now you got to throw it 40 times and get sacked 8. C-Rich says, so Amy shouldn't have fired Callahan.
Not when she did.
I don't know what. I agree because
I'll say it. Not when she did.
Not that this matters, but this is kind of like a sign of if Callahan didn't get fired a week ago, would Tyler Lockett have asked for his release this week?
Yeah, maybe not.
Maybe not, right? But because the coach, it's an interim coach situation, Tyler Lockett's like, you know what? Screw this. Like, there you go. And they're like, okay, fine. Jack says, not cold yet. Brownlee grades will drop. Just wait. Wait till the weather drops for Brownlee's grades to drop.
That's a great comment from Jack. You're totally right.
And
by cold, we mean 45 degrees.
Yes, which it probably already is up there in New York. All right, time to throw shade. If you got shade in the chat, let's do it. Shout out to our friends at Wilson County Hyundai. Make them a part of your new car buying process. See them in Lebanon, help you save some money on that new ride. WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Shade time. You said your shade was going to be brief. You're excited about your shade. I will give my shade first. I'll let you have a little bit more to go with. So I'll get out of the way. My shade also has to do with Twitter X interactions.
Good.
But it's not – it's like I think – we live tweet football games, right? And so we are literally tweeting about moments. And I cannot stand when a tweet in a moment about a moment gets taken as this big, grandiose, big picture thought the day after the game. Right? Like,
or immediately after the game. They bring back your first quarter takes.
Yes, like this is Tennessee, Alabama game. Because I could throw a lot of shade on how they screwed up the end of the half that was the difference in that game at the end of it. But I tweeted in the first quarter, man, see the refs in Tuscaloosa are being hall monitors, which is the way I like to call refs that are being petty hall monitors.
And they were. Thing, and it's a good way of putting it.
And they were. They were. And then I get Bama fan after Bama fan just sending me all these crybaby things. I'm like, well, okay. I also had 4 tweets after that. They were like, Tennessee got their ass kicked. Tennessee came up short and small in the biggest moments. Alabama's rolling. Like the game that happened the way the game did, but I'm just getting called a crybaby and a whiner. Scoreboard and all this kind of stuff. But the refs were being hall monitors.
No, and it happens every game. Like we'll come into a game and we'll have spent the week talking and writing about how, take an example, the Titans' run defense has been really poor and they have to tighten it up. And then they'll have a first half where they're allowing 2.9 yards per carry and they've been nails. And then at halftime I'll tweet out, Titans run defense has been the difference today. They've been really, really good. Very impressed by the way they've turned it around. And then they'll allow a 78-yard touchdown run in the second half. And then at the end of the game at 4:30 p.m., someone will quote tweet the tweet from halftime and be like, how does this guy have a job? What are you talking about? Did you even watch the game, you idiot? And it's like, look at the timestamp of my tweet.
When I tweeted it, they were playing good run defense.
I was about to say.
And then they weren't.
It's so annoying. It's so annoying.
Chase says, shade on Austin for having that church-ass haircut. I don't know what that means. But,
okay. You haven't changed your haircut.
Chase also is coming. Chase Jones just now. Shame on anyone doubting Austin like he's ever been wrong before. Chase, who hurt you, man? Like what? I've never seen you comment on our shows before. If I had some more shade, it would be on the fact that I ran out of hair product and my paste that molds the hair. And it's been 3 weeks. Well, I don't know where it is.
Chase is actually that's Ryan Roberts' burner. He's just in here giving you a hard time.
Up church, dummy. No, you're the dummy. You dummy. Chase, what's your problem, bro?
Also, what is Upchurch?
I don't know.
Okay. All right, Chase.
Yeah, Chase just coming in here intense, man. Like, yeah, my Andre's laughing at hair products. Like, come on, I am a grown man and I have hair that people wear hair product. It's like
it's actually
what's it called?
Super normal, folks.
Yeah, most people do that. Upchurch is a music artist. I don't know.
Okay,
beats me.
Cool. Any other shades from the chat worth bringing up?
Well, Chase says, "You guys do this to me. I didn't do anything to you, man.
We do it to you? Is it us or the team? I feel like it's not us."
Yeah, Chase sounds emotional. No, my hair is cut to not be unstyled. It is cut to fit the style. That's how.
Right.
That's what barbers do. Barbers cut for a style, and then when you don't have anything to style it, it looks different.
I don't know what this means, but I just want to let Jason's grievance be aired. Shade on High Point Furniture marketing making my job harder. So I don't know what High Point Furniture is doing to Jason, but please stop it. You're bothering him. Let's see. Jack Longley, my shade is on Josh Heupel. You have an opportunity to go into half down one possession, regardless of touchdown or field goal. Take the points and go into half. Sure, man. I think the shade. Far be it from me to like analyze Tennessee games, but I think the broadcast even said this. If you're going to throw there and go for the touchdown, you have to have made it super duper clear your quarterback. You either throw this into the stands or you throw it to the guy if he's wide open. You do not throw a contested ball here. You do not throw a ball on a route that can be jumped.
So many levels to this, because what happened, Tennessee called timeout with 9 seconds left, right? So if anybody doesn't know, Tennessee was down 16-7. They had the ball on the 1 yard line. There's 9 seconds left in the half. Alabama gets the ball to start the second half. And so all you got to do is, like, if you just score 0 points there and go to halftime at 16-7, the game is completely different. And so they call a timeout and they come out in their heavy personnel, a run formation. They have 0 timeouts left, 9 seconds in a run formation. Why? So Alabama called the timeout in the package. And Zach Reagan wrote about this on AtoZSports.com. That the Alabama D coordinator said, once we saw their personnel package, we called timeout, told our guys they're going to run a power throw, which is like a play action tight end kind of leaking out. So trust your eyes, keep your eyes where they need to be, do your job of the 1 of 11 job on defense, and we'll be good. And the guy pick-sixed it because it was the most predictable spot, because why would you run the ball on the 1 yard line with 9 seconds left and no timeouts? So what they should have done, Tennessee should have done, spread them out to where you can throw and still have another play for a field goal or another shot at the end zone. But no, they just screwed up the whole thing. It was terrible.
Bounce back.
So then pick 6, 100 yards, 23-7 at half, instead of 16-7 or 16-14 or 16-10. And that changes the entire back and forth of the game.
I mean, that is the game, basically.
Yeah, that was the difference of the game because of how this possessions played out.
Who does Tennessee have this week?
Kentucky.
Okay, good bounce back week for the battle of the checkerboard. Johnny says, shade on the Titans for making me take off. Oh yeah, shade on the Titans for making me. Oh, they really?
Wow.
The stadium made you take off your wee ass custom T-shirt before they'd let you into the game. I thought we're keeping it a buck. I didn't know this was a thing. I thought people were wearing these. Is it like a family friendly? We can't have curse words on your clothes kind of thing? Is that their argument? I guess.
Maybe.
I get that. I guess, but it's still a tough look. If anyone else has a story about this, please reach out. I want to hear this. Burning Devil. Yeah, this is good. Shade on doubleheader Monday night football games going past midnight. A lot of people hate the doubleheader Monday night games, which I get. I don't hate that they're doing 2 games on occasion. Now, if it was every Monday, it would get kind of old. But they do them in the worst way. They either do them overlapping, which then you defeat the entire point of the point of a primetime game is that there's one game that we're all watching. It's in an isolated window. When there's 2 games.
Yeah, but you can't stack them because then one game starts at like 4:30, and that's not primetime either.
I would rather do an East Coast game that starts at 5:30 Eastern and do a West Coast game that starts at 8. Because he's right. Like the fact that game went, I think, technically past midnight last night, Central Time, 1 a.m. Eastern Time, is bonkers. It's ridiculous. So I don't know honestly, just quit doing doubleheaders. I don't know what the deal is.
What's your shade? Because we got to get out of
My shade, and then we'll get out of here. My shade is also on Titans fan reactions, Austin. And this is not anything new, but I've seen a lot of it recently. people that love to reply to our work, mostly on social media, and say, it's also in replies to shows, like the I'll speak for the fan base guy who loves to come in and try to tell us what people care about. They're like, why are you guys talking about this? I promise no one cares. Buddy, we have all the metrics. I know exactly how many of you care about the things we talk about because I write the things and then you click on the things. We do shows on the things and you click on the shows. I promise it's just you. Like, if you don't care about it, that's fine. Go away. But this, no one cares. Why are you talking about this? No fans don't want Amy Adams Strunk to talk to the media. Why? Only media cares about this. No, you're wrong. I know only media doesn't care about this because you all click in thousands, in droves. I promise you care. So if you want to come into our comments and say that I don't care about this, quit talking about it, fine. Let us know how you feel. But I would advise fans against trying to speak for the fan base because we know exactly how many of you care about different things. It's like the whole business model is knowing what people care about. So that irks me when people are like, no one cares about X. And I'm like, well, 10,000 people clicked on X yesterday, buddy. So I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, fair. If you don't care, you don't have to go away. I just find it like how strange that people have to be so loud about telling people they don't care. Like, if you don't care, then just don't care. It's fine. Like, if you don't care, it's okay.
Screaming, we don't care. It might mean that deep down you kind of care.
Yeah, it's just don't worry about it. That's it. All right,
just
that's it for
past.
us.
You can scroll past. It's allowed.
Strong Tuesday show. We'll catch you guys tomorrow on a Wednesday morning Eastern. You got prime time tonight. Make sure you hit that like button, like the show before you go on Facebook and on YouTube. It goes a long way for us. And we'll catch you guys on a Wednesday morning Eastern live tonight for prime time. He'll see you then. Appreciate it.